Welcome back. President Biden released his fiscal year 2022 budget last Friday night, right before the long Memorial Day weekend. Of course, that raised our eyebrows. In all 72 pages, not once does this budget mention border security. Nancy Pelosi has said that a budget should be a statement of our national values. So let's get into Biden's values and priorities as per his budget. Joining me right now is the ranking member of the House Budget Committee, Missouri Congressman Jason Smith. Congressman, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much for being here. We have new numbers to share with our audience this morning. We spoke with Brandon Judd. He is the head of the Border Patrol Union, and he told us what the apprehensions look like in terms of illegals coming into Texas. We are talking about a continuation of incredible numbers, 172,000 apprehensions in the month of May, 48,000 people got away. We have no idea where they went, and there was no mention of any of this in the budget. Can you talk to us about the priorities of the Biden administration as per his budget?
Maria, it's great to be with you. Those numbers that you just shared are just astounding. Think about this. More people have illegally crossed the southern border than the entire population of Kansas City, Missouri now since January 20th. And this budget that President Biden released a week ago Friday in the afternoon before Memorial Day holiday weekend, hoping, I guess, that the American public won't see the details within it, it provides $69 trillion of spending over 10 years, $6 trillion of spending just this year, but they couldn't find one additional dollar for the border wall, let alone a 0% increase for Homeland when we're facing this border crisis. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about the priorities here, because I know that in the budget, Congressman, he's got $4 billion allocated to Central American countries. So there's zero increase in spending for Homeland Security. There's now no increase in defense spending, because when you actually compare it to inflation, 1.6% increase means it's negative defense spending. And yet $4 billion for Central American countries. So are these the priorities that we're looking at right now? EPA gets an increase of 22% in the budget. IRS getting $80 billion to hire 86,000 new auditors.
Look at this. This is the first budget that has been released by the Democrats since they have been in power in over 800 days, since Nancy Pelosi became Speaker of the House. And as Nancy Pelosi said, a budget is a statement of their values. And clearly, by this budget, it shows that they have very little concern for our men and women in uniform. In fact, they propose in this budget to spend more money in 10 years on interest on our debt, which is $914 billion, and they want to spend on our military. In fact, the increase on military is 1.6%, Maria, which is less than inflation. And like we mentioned, protecting our homeland, a 0% increase, but they want to increase the EPA by 22%, and they want to hire 87,000 new auditors with the IRS to go after men and women and to make sure that they're paying their fair share to the IRS.
Hold on.
Crazy.
Wow. Hold on, Congressman. We got to get more into this. We're going to take a short break, and then I want to ask you how he's proposing we pay for all of this $6 trillion. We'll be right back with more on Biden's budget. Welcome back, and I am back with Congressman Jason Smith. He is the ranking member on the House Budget Committee, and we are walking through President Biden's budget. So, Congressman, you were saying a moment ago that the president wants to allocate $80 billion to the IRS. It feels a little like a deja vu. Under the Obama administration, we had the IRS politicized, targeting groups that they didn't agree with. Tell me what this $80 billion is for.
You know, they're proposing, Maria, to spend $80 billion to hire 87,000 IRS auditors. That's like filling the National Stadium 2 different times just to go after families and small businesses and farmers to make sure that they're paying their fair share with the auditors. And they believe that by hiring these 87,000 auditors, they're going to be able to come up with over $700 billion in revenues. So that means they're going to be looking under every crook and cranny to find what they can with every American, which is pretty scary.
Well, it really strikes me that we are in dangerous times. Today is D-Day, 77 years after D-Day, and today we are confronting, first of all, thank you to all of our troops and our courageous men and women who gave their lives and fought for the freedom and liberty of this country. Today we face even bigger threats with communist China and Iran. As the threats are rising, there's no increase in homeland security. There's no increase in defense spending. Let's put up a bar chart that we have here from your committee, the Budget Committee, to show us where the spending is going. Walk us through this. How come there's so much money going to education and no money going to homeland security?
First off, when you look at that bar chart, Maria, this is additional increases. Anything that is non-defense roughly has an average of 16% or more of an increase whenever, remember, we've already funded all of these agencies where they have tens of billions of dollars in leftover funds from the 5 to 6 different COVID packages that has been passed over the year. So they already have more money than what they possibly can spend and that they're not spending. But when it comes to securing our border, you see not $1 in additional spending.
Wow.
And when it comes to providing for our men and women in uniform, the increase is so minimal. It's the lowest since World War II.
Not only that, but at the out years, after a sugar high with all of this money going to the economy, his expectations for growth are flat, under 2%. So what's the point of spending all of this money if it's not leading to growth? But the real question I want to ask you, Congressman, is how is he planning on paying for this? Will he be able to raise taxes? Is he going to get it through reconciliation? And whose taxes are going where? Tell us the most egregious tax increases that you see.
You know, Maria, what I think is the most alarming within this budget proposal, you hit on the GDP. In the president's budget proposal, he says GDP over the first 2 years will be at 2.2%. In the last 8 years of the budget, it will be 1.9%. The reason why it will be at 1.9% is because his policies will be taking effect. And his policies within this budget is increasing taxes to the highest level this country has ever seen. $55 trillion in collections of taxes over the next 10 years. You're seeing increases on low-income, working class. President Biden campaigned and said that he would not raise taxes on low income, but in fact, that's what he does in this budget proposal. A family of 4 who makes less than $60,000 a year will face a $2,000 a year increase in taxes. And I'll tell you, a family of 4 is doing everything they can to get by right now. And with this crazy spending, Maria, with inflation going around, they're already seeing a huge increase of putting food on their table, clothes on their backs, medicine in their cabinets, gas in their cars. It's absolutely getting out of control.
Yeah, Congressman, you really laid this out well. We so appreciate you walking us through the budget. Thank you, sir. We'll keep watching. Congressman Jason Smith joining us.